I'll be honest with you, I've made several skincare mistakes over the past few years, but if I were to go back and give my younger self some advice, then I would tell her to avoid these 5 sunscreen mistakes to better manage the skin. Hey, my name is Tahlia Suraj and welcome to today's video. The first mistake I would avoid is applying too little. I've seen so many people make this mistake and I've been guilty of it myself. I would literally take a dot and apply it all over my face, but that's not how you're supposed to apply sunscreen. Sunscreen is meant to protect our skin. So the generous we are with the amount, the better it is for the skin. And over the years, I've realized that doing so about 15 minutes before heading out of the house is better, as it allows enough time for the skin to soak it all in. The second mistake I would avoid is using the wrong SPF. Choosing the right sunscreen depends on one factor and one factor only, and that is SPF. When you choose an SPF that is not right for your skin, it has little to no effect on the skin. That's why it is important to read the labels and pick the right ones. And the SPF we choose should depend on how sensitive our skin is. If you have sensitive skin that burns easily, you should always opt for a higher SPF. I personally have really sensitive skin, so I always go for an SPF that is 50 or higher. Like the ones I have here today are Sunscoop's Oil Control Gel Sunscreen and Ultra Matte Dry Touch Sunscreen, both of which are SPF 50 PA+++, meaning they are broad spectrum and are more potent in protecting the skin against harmful UVA and UVB rays. The third mistake to avoid is ignoring the skin type. Whenever we choose a sunscreen, we should always keep the skin type in mind. What I mean by that is, if you have oily skin type, you should always go for oil control sunscreen or mattifying sunscreen to better manage your skin during summer. But if you have dry and dull skin type, you should go for hydrating ones. I personally have an oily T-zone and a rather dry U-zone, so I'm more of a combination skin type. So what I personally do is I opt for oil control sunscreen during summer and hydrating ones during winter. Now why I do so is because sunscreen that are designed for summer, like oil control sunscreen or ultra mattifying sunscreen, are infused with salicylic acid, which prevent acne breakouts, control excess oil, and also give an overall matte look for the summer, while hydrating ones are designed to restore moisture. The fourth mistake I would avoid is not including neck and ears. There was this picture of an old woman circulating on the internet who only applies sunscreen on her face and never on the neck, and it showed some drastic differences, and that's why it's so important to never miss neck or ear. It's important to protect our skin regardless of whether that's facial skin, neck, hands, or otherwise. So always make sure to include your neck, ears, or any part of your body that is directly exposed to the sun. Now the fifth mistake I would avoid is not reapplying. Now regardless of which sunscreen you use, you should always apply your sunscreen every 2 hours once. And this is because of a simple fact that we sweat. And when we do, the sunscreen wears off. And that's why it's important to keep your sunscreen with you at all times and reapply every 2 hours once, so we're able to manage and protect our skin. One final mistake to avoid is not wearing sunscreen on cloudy days. Here is a misconception I had held on to for a really long time, and that is, if the sun is not there, then I don't have to wear sunscreen. But that is not how it works. Apparently about 80% of sunlight passes through the clouds, which means even though UVB rays are less pronounced on cloudy days, UVA rays are pretty consistent all throughout the year. And that is exactly why you should never miss your sunscreen, whether it's cloudy or sunny. So those were some really common sunscreen mistakes we are all guilty of making. I sure did for a really long time. But after this video, I hope you know better. Let me know in the comment section what other mistakes I might have missed. I would love to know. I will see you again in yet another video. But until then, stay healthy, stay stylish.